Yo, what's going on, everybody? Happy friggin' Monday. How are you all doing? It is the 10 Minute Mailbag. I am here. I am back to answer your MLB The Show 24 questions. I am recording this in the past, so you can listen to this in the future. I am actually, while you're listening to this, actively on my bachelor party. I don't know why I said it like that, but that's where I am. So I created content for you anyway because I'm a man of the people. I hope you guys appreciate it. For those of you who are new here, welcome to the channel. My name is Kenny, and every single Monday, I take your MLB The Show questions from YouTube or the Discord, which you can join down below, and I answer them in full more than I can just answer them with a keyboard. It's a great way to start conversations with the community, and we just talk about some really cool stuff. So if you have anything you'd like me to answer, put it down below. But in the meantime, you can listen to the answers to these questions right now. As always, 10 minutes are on the clock. It's a strict 10. So strict, in fact, that we go over it by a good chunk every single time. But that's neither here nor there. Either way, we shall begin. So 3, 2, 1, let's ride. Our first question today comes from Bank Dat. Not Bank That, Bank Dat. 201. Did the gameplay change after the two-way glitch patch? I remember the first couple of weeks, fun exit velos felt great in all stadiums. After the patch, foul balls and flukes were at an all-time high. So here's the thing. I have put a two-way player on the screen just to stay thematically on topic. I am not disagreeing with Bank Dat. I'm going to call him Bank from now on. I like that better. Every time, seemingly, it seems like SDS makes a large-ish or significant-ish gameplay patch, it seems like something happens. Negatively. The other way. It was probably around the two-way glitch fix that the game, gameplay-wise, started feeling different. I would actually argue it came a little sooner, though I can't recall if there was an actual patch tied to making the game feel like poo-poo. The first week of the MLB The Show 24 life cycle, I will maintain this, even though the rest of the year has gone completely south. The first week of MLB The Show 24 was some of the most fun I've had playing an MLB The Show game in a really long time. That does not mean I'm an advocate for MLB The Show 24. Don't get it twisted. But that first week, 10 days, whatever that cool period of time was, the game was electric. And I was having a ton of friggin' fun playing it. So, yes, Banks, something changed at some point very early on. And this underscores the importance of, in the case of the two-way glitch, SDS not realizing upon launch that something they had already fixed last year was back. And because of that unawareness, it led to a patch needing to be made that could have potentially led to negative things like we're talking about right now. If the two-way glitch is not a problem when this game launches, maybe we don't run into these other problems. And that's a really big if-then conversation. It's not logically possible to actually combine those two things together. I'm not going to try to say the two-way glitch is the downfall of MLB The Show 24. There are far more tangible things that are the issue. But yes, SDS, unfortunately, doesn't have a phenomenal track record of doing a fix and then the game actually playing better. Exit velos definitely don't feel great. Now, I will say what has remained consistent is that all stadiums, or at least most stadiums, still seem pretty playable. It's not quite the launching pad that it was early on, but most places still seem okay to play in. It's just a lot of the problems I'm having this year are connectivity-based. Not even dropped connections, which I know happens to people from time to time, but just laggy gameplay, man. Every game is laggy, or I put the ball in the PCI and it just dies and goes nowhere. This is a tangent now. We're off your topic a little bit. But yeah, generally speaking, patches change things unintendedly. Not a word. We're moving on, though. Thank you, Bank, for your question. I appreciate you very much. Our next question today, which for some reason is not populating on my screen. There we go. Comes from Matthew White. Now that's two-parter. Now that storylines are officially finished, what is your review and final opinion? And what other legends do you think we could see in the Jeter storyline type of mode? Okay, so let's go to storylines. So here's my review of storylines. Now, I have not completed the Willie Mays storyline yet. I've been busy. We're allowed to be busy. I also haven't had much desire to jump on the game. But the Willie Mays storyline was a total bonus, so I don't even know if we have to factor that in. I know it had one of the coolest moments maybe in storylines history. I've seen the animation of the catch and the throw. Like, that's super neat. Here's my review of storylines. It is, again, so well done. Anything narrated by Bob Kendrick is automatically drawing my attention in. I'm here for the stories. I enjoy learning, and I think interactive learning, for me personally, interactive learning, hands-on learning, that's how I learn best anyway. I'm not a lecture person. I'm not a, ironically, whiteboard person, for people who know my Whiteboard Wednesday series, LOL. I need to do. I'm a doer when I learn stuff. So this is cool. Now, and I mean this with all due respect. I don't know if Andy Cooper, Leon Day, Bill Foster, Rap Dixon, Jose Mendez do it for me. Cool players, cool stories. I don't know if they have well, clearly they don't have the name recognition. That's the whole point. I just don't know if they're, like, sexy enough. Me, at the same time, though, completely understanding the point of storylines is to shine a light on people whose stories have not been told. So there's the other end of that conversation. Overall, storylines is cool. I still, as I said last week, don't like that it's tied to Diamond Dynasty in the way it is. I want it to live on its own. It has impact. Let it just have its impact. Let it exist in a vacuum, be what it is, which is an award-winning, super cool, educational storytelling baseball thing, and let it exist. So during the Rickwood Field broadcast, Bob Kendrick said that next year seems to be the last, MLB The Show 25 seems to be the last year of at least the museum's partnership with MLB The Show. I don't know if that means storylines goes away, but that portion of it seems to be ending. I want to see this partnership go out with a bang. I want all the big names we've been waiting for. I really want Cool Papa Bell, just because his name is sick. And Bob Kendrick talks about Cool Papa Bell semi-frequently on the internet, and I think he mentions him plenty of times in these storylines. Now, for the second part of your question, I think the Jeter storyline mode, it's not as impactful as the Negro Leagues partnership. It's just it's impactful in a different way. It's career arc storytelling that I think is so interesting. I also don't know if that needs to be tied to Diamond Dynasty either. But I think we need a new legend for that. Alex Rodriguez had such an interesting career. I don't know if they want to get into the steroid stuff. So I don't know if they want to do that. I mean, you look at our Legends roster really quickly. What if they did like a trio of Jimmy Rollins, Chase Utley, and Ryan Howard as a career storyline of them together? That'd be super, super dope. What if they did... I'm trying to go through like cool players that we have already in the game. I feel like it works best though if it... I mean, Ken Griffey Jr. would be electric if we're being freaking honest. You'd have to deal with the injuries and stuff, but Ken Griffey Jr. would be great. I think it works super cool as a new legend, though. It's like an extra secondary way of marketing your new legend that's maybe on a cover, a Legends cover, and it's like, oh, by the way, you want to learn all about our brand new legend we just paid all this money for? Here's a storyline that takes you from day one to the end of his career. So that's where I'm at. I don't know why we just ended that question so abruptly. But Matthew, thank you very much, man. Last one today comes from Chris from the Discord. After years of playing Diamond Dynasty, there's been many modes and content that have been untouched. If they update and refresh what they already have, will be a huge welcome change. What are your thoughts? So one of the things you said in there, Chris, is about like adding color schemes for bats and customizing batting gloves. I don't see that happening. And I know it's so easy, or it's on the surface it is. I know it's customization that a lot of the player base wants, But here's why. There are companies that pay large sums of money. There are partnerships. There are deals. Louisville Slugger, War Stick, Tater, that's a brand I just learned existed, Victus, Axe, all the SSK. They pay to have their bats and their licensing in the game. Think of it as legitimate branding and marketing. These companies don't want people to have the ability to customize their stuff in that way. Now, there is certainly an argument to be had where we could just have like a start from scratch equipment mode, just like we have a blank uniform slate to work with. And to that point, I think that makes sense. But in terms of refreshing Diamond Dynasty as a whole, I think we're all in the same boat. The game is severely lacking in online creativity, not to mention much needed upgrades to offline stuff. We need new modes. There needs to be another competitive mode where you can use your God Squad team. It doesn't need to be 9 innings. It can be. It doesn't need to be ranked. It can be, everyone wants the weekend league. I think something similar to that might be okay. We don't want to just copy paste the weekend league. But yeah, the game is lacking an update in terms of what we can do. Sure, sets and seasons are new. Sure, season awards is new, but the game has been the same operationally for way too long. Get on, grind a program, finish an XP path, collect some stuff, go play ranked BR events. That's it, basically. And that's not good. It is time to add something. What the something is, I couldn't tell you. I'm not smart enough to come up with it, and thankfully it's not my job. It's SDS's job. But yeah, we are in desperate need of an update. Ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it again for the 10-minute mailbag, one in which we most certainly ignored the timer to end it. But, it's my channel, and I do what we want, and I also don't think you guys mind. Thank you all for making it to the end. Enjoy any 4th of July barbecues you got going on either this week or over the weekend. Be safe, of course, around fireworks. You don't want to be a Jason Pierre-Paul situation. Shout out to my Giants fans who know what I'm talking about. But either way, thank you guys for being here. Love you all so much. Enjoy your burgers and dogs, and I'll see you next time.